afternoon and welcome to the News on the Hour. I am Omotayo. Hello. The current crisis rocking the All Progressives Congress worsened on Saturday when senators loyal to Senate President Bukola Saraki vowed to resist alleged moves by the APC national leader Bola Tinubu and other party chieftains to impose Senators Ahmed Lawan and George Akume as the Senate leader and deputy respectively. Ahmed Sani Yerime and Danjuma Gujay, who spoke with journalists in Abuja, specifically declared that the plans by the leadership of the APC to fill the remaining 4 principal officer positions with ranking members of the Senate Unity Forum was totally unacceptable. The remaining leadership positions yet to be filled in the Senate include Senate Leader, Deputy Senate Leader, Senate Chief Whip, and Deputy Chief Whip. The APC leadership had allegedly been perfecting an arrangement which would see Lawan emerging as the Senate leader and Senator George Akume as his deputy. The pro-Lawan group, which was the backing of Tinubu, was also said to have picked Professor Olushola Adeyeye of Osun as the Senate Chief Whip, while Abu Ibrahim from Katsina State would be his deputy. But Sani Yerima, a former Senate Deputy Minority Leader, and Gujay, a former governor of Gombe State, insisted that the pro-Saraki like-minded senators would resist imposition of principal officers on the chamber. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, says he was not aware of the jumbo salaries being earned by legislators. Dogara said this when he spoke with newsmen shortly after paying the CoreTV visit to Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State. Dogara told newsmen that the idea of legislators receiving jumbo pay confuses him.
As workers' backlog of salaries continue owing to the inability of most states to pay as a result of bankruptcy, the issue of jumbo pay of the National Assembly members have come to the front burner again due to the recent announcement that the lawmakers have received 9 billion naira just for their wardrobe allowance. This has led to a national outcry that the salaries and allowances of Nigerian legislators be revisited to allow a sensible spread of the nation's commonwealth. Meanwhile, speaking with newsmen in Jos Plateau State capital, the Speaker House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, denied there was anything like jumbo pay for any Nigerian lawmaker.
Sometimes I'm confused. The issue of salaries is quite clear. We don't fix our salaries. It's the Revenue Mobilization Fiscal Allocation Committee that does that. Any Nigerian that wants information on that can take the benefit of the Freedom of Information Act to request for this information from the agency. I do know that our salary is not something that is in the region of 1 million per month.
The Speaker, speaking further, says the House of Representatives was ready to put the matter on the front burner as soon as it begins session. According to him, the lower chamber will conduct a legislative need assessment. The assessment, according to him, will be conducted by competent civil society organizations in conjunction with development partners, pointing out that Nigerians would then know the true status of things in the National Assembly.
This is a matter under our watch that we intend to bring to the front burners of national discourse. We have started it. And as soon as we take roots in the House of Representatives, we are conducting a legislative needs assessment.
When asked how he hopes to maintain leadership stability in the House as witnessed during the 7th Assembly, Dogara promised to be fair in the distribution of the various committee leadership in the lower chamber. He says the House has in the past operated as one family and his administration is willing to keep the tradition.
With the new government at the center, Nigerians are anxiously expecting something different from what is obtained in the past regimes in terms of good governance. And as the 9 billion naira wardrobe allowance for the National Assembly lawmakers continue to generate reactions, civil activists make diverse opinions and the expectations of the 8th Assembly. Rashid reports from Osogbo, the Osun State capital.
The nation is no doubt going through its challenges, and with the news of the 9 billion naira allowance of the National Assembly members, Diverse opinion has continued to trail the jumbo pay. The move, according to some, was totally condemned and described as business as usual at this critical moment that Nigerians are of high hopes that the nation's economic crunch will soon be a thing of the past.
Workers in the state that are now refugees, I think we don't have Boko Haram in Osun State. But what is happening in Osun State is even more worse than Boko Haram now. Because when families cannot feed when people cannot feed their families, they have a serious problem. So what is important is that the issue of giving us food is not even the solution. Because if they brought the rice now for the month of June, for the month of July, will the rice again be brought to the people for distribution? If let them come for the month of June, for July, will we be continuous? So the question is just a carryover effect. That the problem of Ghana is a carryover effect. If the problem is solved today, will it be solved tomorrow? So the issue of bringing rice is not the solution. It's not the solution to the problem that is on ground. What is important is the government should look in other spheres to make sure that workers in the state are being paid their salary.
Reacting to a statement credited to President Muhammadu Buhari that his old age will limit his performance, Wahid Lawal said the president is only trying to explain to Nigerians not to expect miracles overnight.
People are not being paid for 8 months, and how do the government, the responsible government in a state like ours, expect people to live? We are appealing, and I repeat, we are appealing that the government should do the needful at this appropriate time to ensure workers are paid. That is why they are there as government. And as such, for these 8 months, we have tried to maintain peace and we have tried to maintain industrial harmony. As I'm speaking to you, there's no official communication to anybody that we're on strike. But of course, we cannot work. The hospital is down. Everybody is down. There's no way we can actually work as professionals.
The government is, however, urged to concentrate on how to bring the nation out of its present economic woes in order to ensure that the masses enjoy good governance. Rashid, CoreTV News, Oshogbo.
As part of effort to move the People's Democratic Party forward, its governors will meet in Abuja on Monday to discuss ways of getting a new national chairman for the party. The meeting, which will be presided over by the chairman of the forum, who is also the governor of Ondo State, Olusegun Mimiko, is expected to discuss how to get a substantive chairman for the party. The party's former national chairman, Amadu Muhazu, was pressurized to resign by some members of the party, including governors, following the disastrous outing of the party during the last general election. Since his untimely exit on May 20, the deputy national chairman of the party, Uche Secondus, has been acting as the national chairman of the now opposition party. The party is, however, said to be looking at the Northwest Zone to get Muhazu's replacement due to its zoning formula. As part of effort to reduce the spread of sickle cell anemia and raise support for it, a non-governmental organization took to street of Lagos on Saturday in the work as a mark of support for the World Sickle Cell Day. They encouraged Nigerians not to discriminate against those living with the condition.
God has made everybody beautiful and everybody has a right to life, and there's no reason for us to stigmatize anybody. Like we've been saying, being a sickle cell person does not mean that you don't have a right to live. You don't have a right to have a lovely life. So I think we should just give them, all the support they need to live life, to enjoy themselves, and to achieve whatever dream they want to achieve.
And what we'll say to people out there, don't stigmatize anybody living with sickle cell. It's not a death sentence. They live a normal life with good care. And we hope that as it goes on, the awareness for it will get stronger by the day.
I want to criticize everybody that is doing, making the patients of sickle cell feel like a very special people. No, they are not. They're like every one of us. And it's a great pleasure for me to be here to share in this awareness program so we can actually let the whole public know how best to tackle these kind of situations, how best to prevent it, how best to cut it down.
Living with sickle cell is not a death sentence, and it's also important that you don't stigmatize against people with sickle cell, as well as it is also important to know your genotype so that when you get into relationship, you don't encounter having children with sickle cell.
Governor Lagos State Akinwumi Ambode of Lagos State on Thursday approved the construction of the pedestrian bridge at Ojudu Berger bus stop. The governor also visited some of the major traffic points in the metropolis. Ambode, who spoke at Dopemu in Agbado Okeodo local council development area after the inspection, said that his administration will provide solutions to traffic snails in the state. We take a break now, and when we come back, we'll be back with more stories. Don't go away.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome. For more news and information, do well to visit our social media platform, facebook.com/CoreTV News, and our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NJ, and our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV News. One of the highlights of the Islamic early month of Ramadan is Iftar, the communal breaking of fast. For many, it is done in the privacy of their homes, but for others, it is an opportunity to extend a public hand of fellowship to the less privileged. Basiaye was at one of the Islamic centers in Abuja to witness this traditional Ramadan activity.
This is one of the main Islamic centers in Abuja, where faithful have gathered to observe the Iftar, the traditional breaking of fast during the holy month of Ramadan. It is one of the important aspects of the fast, which is obligatory. And in keeping with Islamic teaching, particularly during the season, these individuals are running an initiative called Food Bank. The aim, according to them, is to capture the spirit of giving and oneness. It is an elaborate arrangement supported by individuals and groups. The beneficiaries of the Food Bank initiative are not only the less privileged. There are also others who prefer to break their fast in a communal setting.
It signifies the teachings of the holy month of Ramadan, which is the month of giving. It is the month of getting close to our God. It is the month of blessing. It is the month of education. It is the month of reformation. It is the month in which you experience what others are experiencing. No matter what you have, when you are fasting, you would definitely have sympathy for other people around you.
For us here is ibadah, is the fulfillment of the scripture. It is always encouraged that, particularly in the month of Ramadan, you should feed the fasting Muslim. It's very, very important. The reward is in many folds. It can't be quantified. Only Allah rewards that.
The crowd here is big. It is estimated that more than 500 people are being fed here. The organizers say over 1,000 people benefited from the initiative in 2014. They see no reason why they shouldn't surpass the figure this year.
We're well prepared. For today, the Iftar program, we plan to feed at least 800 persons, 3 square meal. And as you can see, our clients, who are those people who are going to be breaking their fast, they are well seated. Once after Maghrib now, we will start with the second meal, which is the hot meal.
When I came, I said, if people are poor in America, then how do you compare it to Nigeria? So we decided to make it a big thing, and since then, God has been supporting us. People come, they give us money, they give us food, so many things. And today, by the special grace of today, as at last year, we were feeding minimum of 1,200 people daily. Today, this year, we have planned for 1,500 minimum and 2,000 maximum.
The Food Bank initiative has been running for over 10 years with support from individuals and the international community. It is interesting to note that the US, which incidentally is viewed as anti-Islam in some quarters, is one of the major sponsors of the popular initiative. Basiaye, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai has held an emergency meeting with heads of security agencies in the state as part of effort to contain the security challenges in some parts of the state. A government statement explained that the governor and others reviewed the security situation in the state following attacks in Kansak and Danburnu villages in Jema and Burni Gawari local government areas. It also afforded them the opportunity to collate first-hand details from the site of the latest attacks. Arrangement was made for adequate deployment of security personnel, while they also stressed the importance of partnerships among traditional rulers, religious leaders, and all the critical stakeholders in strengthening intelligence gathering. Al-Nasir El-Rufai has named former Chief of Defense Staff Martin Luther Agawa to head a committee charged with the responsibility of stamp out communal attacks in the southern part of the state. Special Assistant Media and Publicity to the Governor Samuel Aruwan said that a statement that the committee is part of the government's multi-dimensional approach to finding lasting solutions to the killing spree in the area. The committee is to, among others, identify socio-political and economic factors that promote existing conflicts in southern Kaduna and advise government on measures to address them. It is also to explore reconciliation among and between communities in the area. The committee has 30 days within which to complete its assignment and submit its report. In a holy solemnization on Saturday, Ebunlomo Adekunle and Nifemi Oguntoye, both of CoreTV News, starred the nuptial North in a grand celebration of love in Lagos. Emmanuel Ajayi has more in this love story.
It's a day of joy as Nifemi Oguntoye hooks Ebunlomo Adekunle in holy matrimony. Speaking at the church service, the presiding pastor charges the couple to live in love beyond all challenges of life. The hall filled to the brim at the reception, which ushers in the latest couple of the day. Friends and families have this to say.
They should encourage each other. They know themselves well too well. They shouldn't allow anything to put them apart.
I know that marriage has got different things in it. You need to be patient with one another. I wish them the best. I wish them many, many children and more celebrations.
It's been a beautiful time. We had great times together. It's so wholesome. I say the blessing of the God resting on the two of them is so eminent. I pray the grace of God will keep the two of them. It's been a fantastic moment.
I pray that God of heaven will give them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and we teach them the way they should go in life.
My advice for them is to love each other. And one thing is important in marriage, that is trust. They should trust each other and believe in each other.
Marriage must be tested, and those tested period are rough roads. So if the road is rough, they should be patient enough, because no matter how, they will soon enjoy their marriage. They will soon experience smooth road.
And they should hold on to God, because God is the foundation. Without Him, there's no way. Let them hold on to it, and they can never regret their marriage.
Now it is the turn of the couple.
I can't imagine a day without her. We've worked together, we've sat together, we've lived together.
We take another break now, and when we come back, we'll be back with more stories. Do well to stay tuned.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
And for stories outside Nigeria, Chadian Prime Minister Kalzibet Debot on Friday said following the recent Boko Haram attack in two suicide blasts in the capital in Jama, which killed 37 people, government would commence rounding up of foreigners in that country. The premier did not give details on whom the raids would target and where. He said those detained would be placed at centers in Bagassola on the shores of Lake Chad. Debert said the North Central African country wanted to get rid of terrorists once and for all. According to him, Chadian government had earlier announced all the security measures such as ban on the burqa, an article of clothing that covers the entire body, and on public gatherings. Al-Shabaab fighters have killed at least 8 officers in a raid on a police station near the capital, a police official said. Al-Shabaab, which wants to topple the Western-backed government in Mogadishu, claimed responsibility for the raid of Afagil town, 30 kilometers southwest of Mogadishu. The group's military operations spokesman, Sheikh Abadisis Abu Musab, said the fighters had killed 12 officers in the raid on the Afagil police station. In the past, Al-Shabaab has exaggerated the number of soldiers it has killed, while officials have played down losses. The attack came just days after security forces foiled an attempt by Al-Shabaab fighters to launch a suicide attack on the political conference in the central Somali town of Adodo, I beg your pardon, killing 3 gunmen and the driver of a car packed with explosives. Charleston charge shooting suspect Dylan Roof was ordered to remain in custody on 9 murder charges on Friday at an emotional bond hearing during which relatives of the victims expressed their grief. Roof's attorney, public defender Ashley Pennington, said his 21-year-old client was prepared to accept the no-bond agreement. Judge James Gosnell set the next court hearing in the case for October 23. Roof appeared in court via video link and was seen standing quietly through the hearing, providing brief answers to the judge's questions. Relatives of the 9 victims were invited to speak at Friday's hearing. Several broke down in tears as they spoke of their loss, but also said they forgave Roof. In this first public reaction to the fatal shooting, the family of Roof released a statement offering sympathy to the victims. Early on Friday, Roof was charged with 9 counts of murder and 1 count of possession of firearm. The charges came hours after he confessed to carrying out the attack. It's a wrap on the news on the hour this time. My name remains Omotayo Alo. Join us on other bulletins.